Kev, I get the idea that the story he just shared about you maybe, needing to have your visitors announced might not be the worst drug testing experience you've had. Have you had some crazy, wacky ones, or was that the worst one you've had to deal with?
What are we talking about here? Are we talking about USADA, or are we talking about when I was on probation?
We'll go with USADA for now.
Oh, okay. Nah, honestly, that's usually about as bad as it gets. USADA, they actually have done a really good job. I know they're not USADA anymore, but they've actually done a really good job of always coming to the house, taking care of me. I've had some really good testing agents. I just really can't complain, to be honest with you. And honestly, I told them don't show up to my house on Sundays. They stopped showing up at my house on Sundays. So they've been nothing but fantastic to me.
He was just mentioning about maybe putting some extra peepholes in the door. I think I saw on your social media like a week ago. Did your pistol get stolen recently?
Yeah. Actually, somebody actually stole. They actually broke the window in the truck when we were out eating in Houston, and I love that city. And they stole my bag out the car. I keep a survival bag in the car just in case you never know what's going to happen. And it had a nice Kimber in there. Sometimes I transfer, the guns from this spot to that spot. And so I had my Kimber in there, and they got the Kimber. So that sucks. I really liked that Kimber, too. I was just shooting bunnies and stuff with it the day before.
Fair enough. Renier DeRidder, how much do we know about him? I mean, at this point, I feel like you fight so frequently that it almost really is irrelevant who you're fighting. You're going to come in there and do your thing and put on the show that you do. But what do we know about this opponent? What are you expecting out of him on Saturday?
I know he had a pretty decent career at one. I know he lost all that before he came over here. So just keep him losing.
Yeah. You said we just had 6 times this year. Is that the plan?
Yeah, ideal would be 6 times. In 2020, we all know I didn't have that many months to work, and I still got a lot done that year. So this year, I'm starting off really, really early with it being January, and I got plenty of time to work. So I think 6 would be easy, and being realistically, I could probably do 7 and make sure that nobody ever catches up again.
I saw you do an interview, I think it was with Demetrius Johnson, where you spoke about the Hamzat fight and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
My question to you is it kind of one of the sad things about this sport that the only way you really get a massive pay jump is to take a fight where the odds are basically all against you?
I mean, yeah, it's pretty crazy, but you will never see me complaining.
Thanks very much.
You also said in that interview with DJ, you finish at the end of 3 to give fans kind of what their money's worth in there. So what kind of fight are you expecting from Renier in there?
I think we'll spend at least one of those rounds. If it goes to 3, we'll spend one of those rounds up against the cage, him trying to take me down, ultimately not really being able to do it the way he wants to, beating him up a little bit on the body, beating him up a little bit on the feet, beating him up a little bit in the head. And literally I said the body, the feet, and the head, and that's what I mean. I mean, stomping his feet, kneeing his body, and blasting his head. And then ultimately I just see him starting to fade and just giving me the dub. And it's like that's just kind of how I picture it. It's like when he lost his belts at the last organization, he kind of just faded and gave the belts away. So it's like maybe that's what he does. He fades and gives it away.
He was in here and he said, if you can avoid your right hand down the middle, that he says you hide very well, that he envisions himself taking you down and choking you out. So did you have to, not that you don't have a high-level black belt, but did you have to bring in people to kind of prep for a grappler like him? No,
shit. Probably grappled less getting ready for this guy. I mean, it's like, if he subs me, that'd be fucking crazy. I don't think he does anything that great on the ground. Him and the Gerald Mershart fight was fun. Gerald's a tough person to fight. I've been there before, done that before. That being said, Mershart just made a slight mistake. Mershart not made that mistake. I think in round 3, Mershart would have won that fight. The guy was ready to quit.
And then obviously, you do knock a lot of your opponents out, so everyone will talk about your striking. But do you think people kind of overlook your grappling ability in there, knowing that you do have a black belt, I believe, under?
No, I don't think so. I mean, think about it. They don't even call it a Darce choke anymore. They call it a dark man choke, and that's because of me.
Kevin, back here. So I talked to our mutual friend, Justin Adams, and I said, your opponent may be from Holland, but you are Holland.
Yeah.
So I think that trumps that, right?
For definitely. And then I think he had a couple fans kept asking me if I like Dutch cheese. I am Dutch cheese, baby.
Exactly.
Let's
Exactly.
go.
I love it. Speaking about Justin, you are training with some really good people under Travis Luter. You're a black belt. And can you tell us some of the people that have helped you for this camp?
Yeah, I mean, I'm always in Houston. I'm always with Bob over there at Main Street. Chico, those guys have been helping me out too. And then, of course, back at home with Travis Luter and all my BJJ guys, it's always good work. And then we brought in a wrestler this time, and, I'm always happy when I get to finally find a wrestling coach that I actually can get along with. So shout out to Quentin. He's been doing a really, really good job. His reviews are amazing. His classes are really good. It's like he starts off the class, and we don't know exactly what direction he's going in, but by the time it's over with, we're all happy that we came. So really, really happy with the way the gym's looking right now. Team Luder's looking better than it ever has before. Shout out to Cowboy. He really did grow the MMA program, and even the morning program's looking good with Derek Perkins there helping out with the striking. So overall, it's been really freaking cool. I mean, I've never seen my gyms be so on point, so I'm happy with that.
Love to hear that. Last question for me. I always love talking to you coming up. We used to talk every few months, and I'm really glad to come back in here. We're going to be getting you on that killer winning track, and I know you can't do that. How do you feel this opponent compares with some of the guys you fought? And if you had to compare him with one individual, who would you say he might be like most or on that level? Chiesa. Okay. Chiesa. You probably said it better than I did. For sure, I would say him. Bigger Chiesa, and just because Chiesa doesn't have the best striking in the world, but we all know that you have to respect his grappling. And I think the same thing with this guy. But I think that being said, I think Chiesa's a little better. I think he's definitely more well-rounded, and he's definitely fought stiffer competition.
Excellent. Well, I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate that.
You got it, brother.
Kev, right here, brother. Just kind of going off of what he said there. You saw Rainier downstairs. Was that the first time you saw him?
Yeah, first time seeing the guy. I think you were right there. It's crazy. You look at his stats and you look at everything everybody says about the guy, and they say he's 6'4", and he's ex-champ at 205 and ex-champ at 85 in a different organization. So when you put that together and you see a 205er, you're usually thinking like, John Jones when they're 6'4". So, you're like Alex Pereira when they're 6'4". So you're thinking this guy has to be 230 pounds, 240 pounds on the off season, and a huge guy. My first time seeing him, he didn't seem to be 6'4", and he didn't seem to be 230 or anything close to that. He seemed to be about a good 6'3", 170 pounds soaking wet. But we all know he's a middleweight, so he's a little heavier than that.
And then I know the music video was made a couple of years ago, but
yeah,
how is this rap career? Like, where did this start?
I had a cousin. He was actually he was trying to get his little rap career off the ground, and I was so for it. And my vision was this: is like if I could help him, get half of my fans, and then he grabs his own, that'd be amazing. Because if he gets his rap career off the ground, they all know rappers make a lot of money, and then people in the family won't ask me for money anymore. They'll just ask him. That was the goal. It just didn't go exactly as planned.
So, possible collaboration with Bryce Mitchell? Are we gonna make?
I got to do a collab with Bryce Mitchell. I need to do a collab with Bryce Mitchell. I need to do a cypher with a couple different UFC guys. But I ain't gonna say too much on it because we know people like to steal their ideas. But I'm damn sure gonna get a country song with Bryce Mitchell because all of Texas needs a country song for me. Why not?
Hey, Kevin over here.
Yeah.
Kevin, have you traded any shoes with Dana White recently?
No, honestly, we haven't. It's like we haven't done shoes in a long time. I think he has every Travis Scott that ever came out, and that's all he really likes is Travis Scott's. So it's kind of hard to keep that man happy,
What's the best shoe you ever sent him, and vice versa, that he gifted to you?
He got me some shoes from the shoe surgeon. There were some shoes that I really, really wanted. Desert Storms, I believe. And then I think the coolest pair of shoes I got him were just the Def Dreams. And they were the Chuckies, just because I knew he had bought his son some Chuckies from the shoe surgeon, and I knew how much those cost. So it was just nice to get him something pretty similar. It just cost a lot less. Save a guy some money.
Thank you.
Hey, Kevin. Kevin, so you're right. Hey,
yeah.
In that interview with DJ, you said you were high as a kite during the Vittori fight week. I'm just wondering if you've ever smoked with Bobby Lee, because he said to me, Bobby Lee.
Who's Bobby Lee?
Not Bobby Lee, Kevin Lee, sorry.
Kevin Lee? Oh, no. I don't even know where the fuck Kevin fits in all this. You guys remember that shit? That shit used to be funny. I'm sorry, bro. That was just a little
he said to me before that he could smoke any UFC fighter under the table.
Kevin Lee? Yeah, he can't outsmoke me.
Bobby Green, sorry, Bobby Green.
Bobby Green?
Bobby Green.
No, he can't outsmoke me. No, none of these guys can outsmoke me. Maybe if they're doing like those crackhead things like dabs and shit like that, because I don't do dabs. That's for crackheads. But I smoke weed, reefer, the right way. Blunts, papers. I smoke reefer the right way. And I smoke a lot of reefer. You come play 2K with me, you'll see. We'll play 2K, we'll smoke reefer, and I guarantee you I win.
I'll take you up on that.
Probably not in 2K, but I win on the reefer.
Kevin, I don't know if you've always been big mouth, but it seems like the whole big mouth persona kind of took off in LA. It was like 6 years ago you fought Thiago Santos. Yeah. And that was sort of a big coming out party for you. How does it feel to be back in LA? And, just how do you examine your career from that moment on where you really kind of launched on a pay-per-view? And
It was crazy because the name Big Mouth did pretty much become designed there. Like it became permanent there. But I've always been Jabba Jaws. I've always talked. I've always talked during competitions. I've always been that type of guy. that being said, it's been a long time coming, and I honestly finally feel like Big Mouth and Trailblazers combined together, and they know how to show up at the right time, at the right place. I know how to be Big Mouth right here for the media for you guys, and in the fights when I'm already kicking the ass, and I know how to be Trailblazer, which goes out there and gets a very beautiful dub the right way. So, yeah, TBBM, baby. Trailblazer, Big Mouth. Best business moves.
You're a part of this stacked card fighting in this brand new arena and in a packed crowd here at LA. How excited does that make you to just get into the octagon and get going?
Oh, man. Anytime I get to get in there and get going, I feel great. Doesn't matter what's going on in life. The moment that octagon closes, everything's at peace. Everything is happy. Everything's beautiful. It's the war that I always craved. So definitely happy to be back at home, and definitely happy to check out the new stadium, and even more happy to be back in the fucking cage again. Yeah, I love it. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you guys. Have a good one.